The CORD coalition is this morning expected to hold a meeting to find a common ground on IEBC reforms. Now, this meeting arises from murmurs from coalition partners that the select representatives from the coalition may have ceded too much ground in the negotiations of the joint committee. The bill prepared by the committee is to be tabled in the National Assembly this afternoon in the Senate, tomorrow. Now, our reporter Kennedy Mureithi is currently on standby at Ufungamano. Kennedy, can you hear me? If you could just give us an update on what's currently happening right now. Are we getting any updates? And of course, with the CORD principles, you are rightfully Ken.
Thank you very much, Laban Cliff. We are here at the Ufungamano House, as you have rightly said, where the three CORD principals are in a meeting with their members of parliament from all sections. This means the governors, the members of parliament, the senators, and also some elected members from the county assemblies, where they're discussing the draft bill, or the bill that is supposed to be discussed in parliament this afternoon. You remember there was a select team that was made up from members of the National Assembly and the Senate who were given the task of coming up with reforms to the IEBC, the Independent Election and Boundaries Commission. Now, there have been murmurs, as you have rightly said before, that there are people who feel like the CORD coalition ceded ground when it came to this report, and the Jubilee coalition had the upper hand in most of the things that were discussed at the meetings. Now, this meeting is to allay fears that they might have lost any ground in what the final report says. Because you will remember that the ODM leader, the Wiper leader, and the Ford Kenya leader have already endorsed this report that they received and is already tabled in both houses. I'll tell you, there's the other matter about party hopping, which from our sources within the meeting, we are told is not receiving so much support from either side of the coalitions, be it Jubilee, be it the CORD coalition. And members of parliament want to see whether this position can be changed from what their leaders are saying. Because members of parliament, you'll remember, want to be allowed to party hop even if it is the last week of the elections. It is a matter that we also want to see how it is going to pan out now that we do understand there is a bone of contention when it comes to it. Also, there's the other matter whereby we hear that some members want to make sure that the coalition is happy with what was done with the select committee. There have been murmurs, as I have told you, that people are not happy with the final product, but the chair of that committee from the CORD coalition, Siaya Senator James Orengo, is currently explaining to the members how they came up with it, and you remember that the rules of engagement for that committee were that the majority are going to win. So it is something that we do expect. As they come out, they are going to give a position that is going to be reflected in Parliament this afternoon when they'll be debating it and voting on it.
Thank you very much, our very own Ken Mureithi, standing by on at Ufungamano House. Of course, just him giving an update on what the CORD principals and the entire fraternity in the CORD coalition in Parliament and the Senate have discussed. Of course, this is in preparation for the bill to be tabled in Parliament this afternoon. What he actually says is that the meeting was more of a ratification. There was sort of an agreement that progressed in the afternoon.